All right.
Yeah.
So the next question. What was the best episode? This is a tough one. This shit is tough because for like a good 7 to 10 weeks, every episode was the best episode.
I mean, that's what you would say
This
after
thing,
every
I was like,
week.
yeah, every week you was like, damn, this the best ep yet, right?
And that shit was true every
You
week.
know what? All right, so to make it easier, bruh, let's do a best episode and then like an honorable mention. You know, give yourself an honorable mention. I can give me like, look, I'm gonna come clean. Best episode for me, which is also gonna lead into the next part, which is the best moment. Because I was like, how does your best episode not also have the best moment in it? Is episode 7, Driftmark, bruh.
Okay.
I was like, that is, so this is, post time jump. We got the real players that we sticking with here and everything. And I just loved that episode. That's the funeral episode after they're put in the bed. Lena. I was like, Lena. I was thinking Liana from Liana Mormont. But yeah, Lena. So they were putting Lena to rest. Then fucking Aemon's weird ass goes and claims Vagar. And shit, and Aegon's being all weird. Rhaenyra and Daemon are having their sex on the beach and shit, and the kids come back and slice and little baby Luke slices open that nigga Vaemon's eye for claiming the dragon, and they had their kid fight and everything, and it was like, oh shit, like that was when I think I realized like, hey, this show is like the feud and everything. I think all before that, it really was just Rhaenyra and Alicent not fucking with each other, and that's the moment in the show where you see that this shit is now generational. Like this shit is out of hand, it's out of control, and I was like, there's no way that this ends without bloodshed.
So you think that point was when it was like, all right, the cup overrun, like it's like there's no mending any of this relationship back.
Yeah, I think there's no going. You take a nigga's eye, like you really can't come back from that. And Aemon dropped one of the biggest bars too in that app. He was like, I lost an eye, but I gained a dragon.
He was spitting. He
was kind of spitting. So like all of that encapsulating, and then you got fucking Alicent going crazy. Kristen Cole, like, having a little too much dip on his chip, and Damon's like, nigga, you better back the fuck up. And Alicent goes and tries to physically attack Rhaenyra, and she stops her, and you get that, that iconic scene where she's holding her and she's bleeding, and she's like, we can see it. So I think like that really just said, oh, the shit really hit the fan. Episode 7, Driftmark, right there for me.
Facts. All right, Mike, what's your best episode?
Well, I had Driftmark also, and Dante pretty much summed it up. But I'll do it. I'll just read the I guess the title or whatever the description it has. It says, as the families gather on Driftmark for a funeral, Viserys calls for an end to the fighting, and Alicent demands justice. So, I mean, yeah, Dante pretty much explained it. I thought like this episode was dramatic. It was giving me anxiety, and like you said, like Aemon lost an eye but gained a dragon. Just the fact that a bold ass 12-year-old at this point is able to get on the largest dragon and take that bitch, like just completely just shifting the power balance between the blacks and the greens at that point. But I would also say, as honorable mention, since he mentioned Driftmark, I would say the Green Council. I think that's when Aemon has to track down Otto. Otto gathers the great houses, and that kind of takes me back because we always said like this show isn't Game of Thrones, but like that episode gave me Game of Thrones vibes, like calling the houses, like Cersei and the Lannisters trying to figure out who you lie with and where your allegiances are, and I don't know. I enjoyed that episode.
Okay, very nice.
Peak scheming right there.
Scheming. All right, my episode of this season is actually episode 8. It's right after Driftmark, obviously. And that's also my best moment. Viserys' long walk from the throne room, because this was Viserys' last stand, and it was like a running joke. Everybody's like, "Oh man, how Viserys still alive? How Viserys still alive?" But him being alive was really like the last. he was like the last, breath of the Targaryen dynasty as it was known. You know what I'm saying? Viserys' life was really holding everything in balance. And so when he does this last stand to kind of keep his family together, he's walking down the throne room. Like, we see this man looks like horrible, drops his crown, and who's there to pick it up? Come on, somebody.
Hey, man, Daemon, bro.
You drop your crown.
Little bro Daemon right there.
Come on, don't let me start preaching in this motherfucker. Episode 8 was beautiful on all accounts. We got the first kind of real Game of Thrones-ish, just like complete surprise death with Vaemon getting his head sliced off by Daemon. After that amazing bastard,
nigga put his heart and soul into that shit.
What do you think was gonna happen?
Hey, man, he said he could keep his tongue.
He knew it.
He went out in a blaze of glory, man. So it's just like so.
That's my best episode.